It's old-fashioned. Hey, Charlie, you're an anvil salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else.
River City next.
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the piggins and the firkins.
Cash for the hogshead, caskin, demijohn. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the fly paper.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do they get it?
What do you talk? You can talk, you can talk. You can bicker, you can talk. You can bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk, you can talk. You can talk, 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 talk. Bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's a Model T Ford made the trouble, made the people want to go, want to get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
Not the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
You can talk, you can bicker. You can talk, you can bicker. You can talk, 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 talk. Bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the you need a biscuit made the trouble. You need to put the crackers in a package. The you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package made the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went
Out the window with a mail pouch cut plugged on by the stove. Changed the approach of a traveling salesman. Made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory.
Gone with the hogshead, caskin, demijohn.
gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk pan.
Gone with the tub and the pail and the tierce. Ever meet a fella by the name of Hill?
Hill!
Hill!
No!
Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman Hill. Now he doesn't know the territory.
What's a fella's line?
Never worries about his line. Or the Cracker Barrel being obsolete, or the you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package, or the Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or a doggone thing. He's just a bang, deep, boring, and big hog, great go, neck and nothing, rip, roaring, every type of bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill.
Hey, tell us, what's his line?
He's a fake and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk? He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big brass bass, and the piccolo uniforms too, with the shiny gold braid on the coat and the big red stripe running. Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there a Jew's harp. No, the fella sells bands, boys' bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies, and he gathers, and he plucks, and he shines. And when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City. We cross the state line into Iowa. River City. Population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state. Board.
All right, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never saw him in my life, but I know this much. He's giving every one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town over, the next salesman to arrive gets automatically tarred and feathered and rode out to the city limits on a rail. You think that's funny? Well, wait till it happens to you. Your hair never grows back.
But why should he get run out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee to teach the kids to play.
Well?
And form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
Well, what's wrong with that?
He don't know one note of music from another. That's what's wrong with that. And he can't tell a bass drum from a pipe organ. I'll catch up with with that swindling two-bit thimble rigger, and when I do, I'll squeal on him so loud!
Wow, you're mad, Charlie. Sure would like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Yeah, well, it won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Harold Hill won't try to sell them neckbone Hawkeyes out here.
Word! Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
There's nothing halfway about the Iowa way to treat you when we treat you, which we may not do at all.
There's an Iowa pride, a special chip on the shoulder, attitude we've never been without that we recall.
We can be cold as a falling thermometers in December if you ask about our weather in July.
And we're so by God stubborn we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But what the heck, you're welcome. Join us at the picnic. You can have your fill of all the food you bring yourself. You really ought to give Iowa a try.
Provided you are contrary.
Good morning, Mayor Shin. Good morning, Mayor Shin.
It is if you want to walk around in your drawers all day.
Well, there I was in the Madison Hospital, and nobody come to see me. Cousin Billy never come on. Bertha never call you. Your Aunt Bertha's dead. Well, she wouldn't have come anyway.
We can be cold as a rolling thermometers in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so by God stubborn we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But we'll give you our shirt and a bat to go with it. If your crop should happen to die. So what the heck? You're welcome. Glad to have you with us. Even though we may not ever mention it again. You really ought to give Iowa, Hawkeye, Iowa, Dubuque, Des Moines, Davenport, Marshalltown, Mason City, ought to give Iowa a try.
Mr. Squires, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday if you can accommodate me.
Then I'd expect you'd ought to see the man in charge of hiring rigs, who is late as usual.
Hey, Gregory?
Marcellus?
You old son of a gun. What? But Greg.
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know you was coming?
I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how could I know you'd wind up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you wake. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Tafelmeyer. Boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So what's the bitch? Oh, you're not back in the band business. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
Now give me the lowdown here, Mars.
You'll never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Iowans. Besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher who'll expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher, she's the librarian, female.
Perfect. Just what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. So how you gonna start the pitch?
Oh, the usual way. First, I keep that music teacher off her balance. Then I get your town after the terrible trouble it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create some. I've got to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember. Now, what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard parlor just put in a new pool table.
They never had a pool table before?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. See you later, Mars. And remember, music teacher.
Music teacher.
Mr. Dunlop? Yep? Either you are closing your eyes to a situation you don't wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble, right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player. Certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Let me cultivate horse sense with a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try to give an ironclad leave to yourself from a three-reel billiard shot? But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a ball-playing game, I say that any fool can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that slot. The first big step on the road to the depths of degradation. I say, first it's a little medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a big tracksuit. And this is the son of the guy out of town jazz. Hear tell about horse race again. Not a wholesome trot race, no, but a race where they set down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boys sitting on damn patch, making blood spoil? Well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets on the table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and bum with the capital B, and that rhymes with B, and that stands for bull. And all week long in River City, you keep frittering away. If you're a young man, be frittering. Frittering away. They're noontime, supper time, short time too. Get the ball in the pocket. Never mind getting dandelions full of the screen door pack with the beef thing down it. Never mind pumping any water till your parents are caught insisting you on Saturday night. That's trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking the kids in the knickerbocker. Sure tell young women. Speaking of the bull, look at it. Oh, you got trouble, folks. Right here in River City. Trouble with the capital T, that rhymes with P, and that stands for. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They'll be trying out Bevo, trying out Cubans, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breakfast sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall, heading for the dancing armory, libertine men, scarlet women, and ragtime. Shameless music that will drag your son, your daughter, in the arms of a jungle animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is a devil's playground. Oh, we got trouble. Right here in River City. Right here in River City. Capital T and that bunch, B and that stands for. That stands for who? We surely got trouble. We surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Right here. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children's children gonna That's your daughter? Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute. Hello, Mama. That's fine, dear. Now your exercises. I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July. It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town. Oh, who? I never saw him before. Did he say anything? He tried. Did you say anything? Mama, of course not. Now don't dawdle, Amaryllis. So-do-la-re-ti-mi, a little slower, and please keep your fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What's that, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can't quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all the other highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
I haven't changed the subject, I was talking about the stranger. When the suitcase was maybe your very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common masher? Now, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about the standards, and if you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that one that Paul Bunyan sang, Patrick Noah Webster. You can trust it for yourself. Out of your Irish imagination, your Iowa stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Well, now, if that isn't the best I've ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I?
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that a way to walk into the house?
Hello.
Oh, that won't do at all. I'll have a kiss for me, boy. Oh, the lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where's your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Would you please come? I would especially like it if you'd come. Winthrop?
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amaryllis because of that. Because of his lips. Piece of shit.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't say it.
No, thank you, Amaryllis.
Amaryllis? Amaryllis? He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people just because of his lips?
It's not only because he lisps, Amaryllis. That's just part of it.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me. But I do him, every night. I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop.
For the time being, just say, good night, my someone. You'll fill in the name when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, dear, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my cocktail piece.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. Sleep tight, my love. Our star is shining. It's bright as light. For good night, my love. For good night. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone, good night. True love can be whispered from heart to heart. When lovers are parted, they say. But I must depend on a wish and a star, as long as my heart doesn't know who you are. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone, good night, good night, good
I'm sure we're all grateful to my wife, Eulalie McKechnichin, for leading the scene. And to Ethel Tuffemeyer, our fine player, piano player. As mayor of River City, I welcome you, River citizens, to the 4th of July spectacular set up indoors here in Madison Gymnasium on account of the weather. Fourscore and... The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about the costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watanyi girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will present a spectacle, My Wife, in which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part.
To 20 in the Indian tongue. Een, teen, to the feather.
Who set off that cracker?
Tommy Gillis did it! Tommy Gillis did it!
Yes, it was Tommy Gillis.
Tommy Gillis! I wouldn't leave if I was you. Mrs. Shin, will we cover? No thanks to a certain young ruffian who was a disgrace to our city. Fourscore and... The Payne's Fireworks Spectacular, the last days of Pompeii, will take place providing the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be at Madison Picnic Park in the far meadow across the creek from the pest house.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazettes predict fair?
Sure did, Ewart. That's why we all prepared for a storm.
Now, the Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
You wouldn't last very long in the banking business being accurate most of the time.
Now, just a minute. Right on.
Order!
Number 8's late again tonight.
I make her early.
She's late, all right.
She's right on time. What's the matter with your wife? Stop bickering. All the word that I said was that the tram was right.
Mind! Fourscore and what?
Pool table in town.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Now just a minute.
Is it a pool table or is it?
Will you people allow me to get on with the exercises?
We don't want any more exercises until we get this pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children. May I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this troubled friend with the wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize a River City Boys dance. Now think, my friends, how can any pool table ever hope to compete with the gold trombone? Da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billion pearl walls come tumbling down. Well, a band will do it, my friends. I said, a boys' band. Did you hear me? I said, River City's got to have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand. River City's gonna have her boys' band as soon as the Lord gave them green apples, and that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred, and you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals. And you'll hear the thunder of rolling drums and the shimmer of trumpets. Tantara! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the parade with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun with 110 cornets right behind. more than 1,000 leaves springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottom timpani and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having his big fat say. Thundering, thundering, louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who improvise a flow higher than the storm.
Frank Goth and Strangler Lewis lay on the mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Never mind. I want that spellbinder's credentials. After him, he's the hoodlum who blew up Mr. Shin.
Have to make an example of him. Ringleader. You know, what he does, the gang does.
Jilly Clyde, let me go!
You wild kid, you. Hanging around my oldest girl? His father's one of them day laborers. Works south of town. Tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
I wasn't either tagging.
Oh, don't you contradict
We was
me.
just walking together, Jilly Clyde.
You watched your phraseology. I know what you was doing. My little Gracie Sr. Now you keep away from my oldest girl, or you have me into who laid the rails. Hill, I'll talk to you about this band thing Monday morning over at City Hall, 10 a.m. Sharp. Men, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
Professor, you don't know this kid. He's tough. And he's got his gang waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, want to talk to you about the band.
Gee, Professor, that's for the little kids.
I'm not talking about playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever do anything with perpetual motion?
Nearly had it a couple times.
You did. You're my man. Do you realize that nobody has ever invented a music holder for a marching piccolo player? No place to hang the music.
Jilly Clyde, wonder where I could get some wire from.
Try your cellar. That's where people keep wire. Oh, Tommy!
Yes, sir?
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Oh, young lady. Oh, miss. What's your name?
Zanita? I had no idea you was beckoning to me. Oh, my God!
Zanita, do you know Tommy Gilas?
Well,
Tommy, this is Zanita. Escort the young lady home.
Only excepting I'm not going home. I have to go to the library.
Then
God!
Escort the young lady home by way of the library, by way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fellow. Made a couple of mistakes, though.
Oh?
The mayor happens to own the billiards parlor and that brand new pool table.
Oh. And, what was my other mistake?
Well, that's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest daughter.
We're the school board.
Academic certificates?
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
Make it put up a bond.
He can't put up a bond. He can't put up a bond.
What am I hearing? Say, ice cream.
Ice cream? But I don't sing, if that's
Talk
true.
then. Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
You see, singing is only sustained talking. Now you.
Ice cream.
Now you.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of these three men without the other one.
Oh, Professore, you're wrong. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years now.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be
Any sin
Sincere. Where is the good in goodbye? In goodbye.
the street, like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall.
Oh, I wouldn't know about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana. Gold medal class, Avant Bar.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you that I am not impressed with your credentials, which I have not seen, nor with your manners, which I have.
Hey, Gregory!
Oh, hi, Marcellus. And don't call me Greg.
How'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. 8 out of my hand the minute I tip my hat.
She did. Boy, did you cut a swat tonight. For a minute, even I thought you knew something about leading a band. Just like when you used to imitate that band concert fellow back in Joplin.
Yeah. Kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. You just keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
Still does. It takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, no, Greg. You haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off as a music professor. I mean, not for any 4 weeks.
Mars.
But you don't know one note from another.
Oh, I have a revolutionary new method called the think system, where you don't bother with the notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people will want to hear music. You'll have to be leading the band.
But when the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and lead. Oh, this is a refined operation, son. I've got it timed down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Washburn.
Gonna line yourself up for a little canoodling, huh?
Well.
Say, I could fix you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl. Teach you Sunday school.
No wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs no spider ever. Listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir. For no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz. For the lady who knows what time it is, I cheer and I rage. For the virtue, I'm too late to say the sadder but wiser girl for me. I smile, I grin, when the gal with the touch of sin walks in. I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
I'm Mavis Graham.
Greta Hingle. Luella Crisp. And this is Mrs. Squires and Mrs. Britt and Mrs. Hicks. And of course you've met Eulalie the technician, our mayor's wife. Isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
Oh, I couldn't say. I could not say. Oh, no, I could not say at this time. My husband will
wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh, yes, I'm reticent.
I understand, Mrs. Shin, but you see, my music plans include a committee on the dance, and I... Oh, no! Mrs. Shin, do that again. The way you moved your foot just now.
Oh, well, I have a bunion there that bothers me
What
terribly.
grace! What expression of line and movement! What natural rhythm and flow!
Oh, Mr. Hill.
You must accept the chairmanship of the Ladies' Auxiliary for the classical dance. Mustn't she, ladies?
Oh, it's your responsibility.
Your every movement, Mrs. Shen, bespeaks Del Sart. Will you? Say yes. Say yes, Mrs. Shen.
You lally McKechnie-shin. Well, that is dancing. Well.
Then you accept.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Now, the young lady who plays the piano, Marion Carew, I believe. Well, after all, she is the librarian.
Hick, 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 hick. Talk a little, talk a little, talk a little. Chat, 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 chat.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 cheep. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little. Of course, I shouldn't tell you this. Yes, pick a little, talk dirty, cheep, cheep, cheep.
Balzac!
I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town till she got here. Old miser Madison.
Miser, Madison. Madison Picnic Park? Madison Gymnasium? Madison Hospital? That Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who'd he think he was anyway?
I should say show. The show-off. Gave the town the library, too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city.
But he left all the books to her. She was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes. That woman made brazen overtures with a gilt-edged guarantee. She had a golden glint in her eye and a silver voice with a counterfeit ring. Just melt her down and you'll reveal a lump of lead as cold as steel here, where a woman's heart should be. He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her. Chaucer!
Rabelais!
Balzac!
Just a minute, that's for checking your credentials.
Of course. I have what you want over at the hotel. Come with me. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. We're going to leave you It's all right. I know everything, and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
You were probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. I'll only be in town a short while, and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Would you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Hi, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Look. Marion. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Pee-wees, and 1 big glassy with an American flag inside. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Madam Librarian. What can I say? My dear, to catch your ear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us, if the library caught on fire, and the volunteer hose brigade men had to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian. What can I say? My dear, to make it clear, I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumble and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight. And the fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win, for the civilized world accepts as unforgiven. And the sort of my love is and librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts an unforgivable sin. And you're talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. The Ladies' Dance Committee meets on Tuesday nights. Madam Librarian. Tell you what, Tommy, we've had a pretty good morning. 11 sales out of 12 drops. Now, it seems about noontime, so why don't you go home and have some dinner, and I'll try a couple by myself. Goodbye, Professor. Thanks, Tommy.
Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Why, no, Mayor Shin. I collect doorbells, and that particular specimen has an unusual tone quality.
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why have you been down to City Hall with your by-God papers?
Must have just missed you. Oh, no. Mayor Shin, your hand.
What?
That spread of the little finger. It's hereditary.
Is? What does it mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve of a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good. It means that America has at last produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
Well, where can I get one of those horns?
Sign up right here.
That's the thing. I could have missed the whole thing. You know, I never even noticed that before. I haven't got a son. You unscrupulous. You fly by the night. You unflightless. You get yourself and your papers down to City Hall by 3 p.m.
You mean today?
I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Mrs. Peru, do you realize that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
If your boy has that same firm chin, those splendid cheek muscles, by George! Not that he could ever be really great, you understand, but...
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, Mrs. Peru, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Klein.
But Professor, we are Irish.
No, really. Well, that clinches it. Sign right here. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Fine. And that'll be $7 earnest money. And not a penny more due until first payment payable at opening of band practice. Thank you. And of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his band uniform.
His uniform?
Well, hello, son. Certainly his uniform. And it'll have 2 long gold stripes, one on each side. What do you think of that, my boy?
You'll have to excuse Winter, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. And if you can get him to play in the band, you'll have St. Michael's own way with you. But if anybody can do it, I'll bet you can. Out of the crowd, I'd pick you for a hod-carrying, clay-pipe smoking, shamrock-wearing, harp-playing, govern-in pinching, terrace hall, minstrel-singing Irishman. Big gov and big jobbers, where are you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it, Gary. Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. As a matter of fact, Gary Conservatory is my alma mater.
Oh, is she now?
Gold class medal of '05. How to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Of course! Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. I've been by to see you since the other night, but...
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marion, the boy might have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
Oh, your husband's musical? I'd like to talk to
Do
him.
you burst in on everyone's home like this, prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Well, that's 1 for, 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry. But that's all the more reason why your brother
My
should have...
brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father has been taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. As to your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Why, Miss Peru, I hardly... I get the feeling she likes the idea. Oh, a little cautious perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just keep me alive and I'll be back later in the week.
Just a moment, Professor, about the boy's measurements. I make all his clothes myself. Sleeve 21, waist 18, crouch 14.
That's fine, that's fine. Now I have to get back to my hotel.
You'll have to excuse Marion, Professor. She's not really...
Don't worry about a thing. I'm sure at heart she's just as lovely as yourself. Good evening to you, Widow Peru.
Has he gone? He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think of your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation, class of Watch 5.
Now, Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, woman-chasing, self-centered traveling man who comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fighter.
Mama! Winthrop! Winthrop, where are you? I know you're out there. Winthrop! Winthrop, please go down to the library and ask Miss Scrub to give you the book I put aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a black book with a red spine.
Do I have to?
You won't have to talk to anybody. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear.
Now what are you up to? What do you need books for at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my asking, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, certainly not Luther Greiner, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gammage and that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either, Mama. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say if it only knew how. Please
Where?
The footbridge.
You see, isn't that just what I said last time? The lumber yard and now the footbridge. Where will you meet me after that? In the black hole of Calcutta? Ye gods!
I only want to show you my invention.
What invention?
My music holder for a marching piccolo player. It still has a couple of minor flaws. See, when you hold it tight enough to keep the music steady, you cut off the circulation and you can't wiggle your fingers. Meanwhile, you could go blind.
Tommy, it's Papa!
Is that the very first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
Yes, the very first thing I said. Ollie, hey with the horses. Get that spellbinder's credentials. Morning of July 4th, 1912. And now look, my wife is off dancing at all hours of the morning instead of being at home.
Oh, but George,
And the school board is singing up the streets and down the alleys instead of minding town business. And my oldest girl is bootling around town with some wild kid. And my business has fallen off so far, I can't see the balance sheet.
Mayorship, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
I know all about that. It's the only thing I could ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of Art 5.
I think if you take a little time to read about the conservatory in this book, you won't have to ask any more questions. It's on page...
Papa! Papa! The Wells Fargo wagon is just coming out from the depot.
At this hour of the morning, nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon. The band instruments.
Sent me a bathtub and a cross-cut saw.
Wells Fargo wagon is a calling down. Is it a prepaid surprise or COD?
It could be curtains or dishes
Or a double boiler. Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for. From Seattle last September, and I expected new rocket ship. I hope I get my raisins from Fresno. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming now. I don't know how one can ever wish to see. It could be something from someone who is not related, but it could be something special just for me.
Men, you will each receive instructions in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think. Minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da. La-di-da.
Round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some by God tootin' and them horns in pretty short order, or I'll have you in front of the grand jury in the county seat. Watch your phraseology. You go home if you want to. I've got to talk to the librarian. Now, about that book. No, stop it.